The information on this show has been provided by DETV, an independent company not affiliated with Barclays or any of Barclays' affiliates. Barclays makes no claims to the accuracy of the content, nor does it recommend or endorse any products or services that have been mentioned in the program. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or the positions of Barclays. Hi, I'm Danae Wolf. I went from being broke and getting evicted in my 20s to becoming a millionaire in my 30s. And here's the best part. It didn't happen because I got some windfall of cash. It didn't happen because I got a fancy new job. It happened because I started controlling my money and stopped letting it control me. I cracked the code on personal finance, and I'm on a mission to help as many people as possible have the same transformation. The truth is, it's not a lack of money that's keeping you broke, it's a lack of financial education. And that's why I'm doing this show, because I believe financial literacy is a right, not a privilege. So join me to learn how to increase your financial IQ so you can make and keep more money. Welcome to Money Matters. Hello, and welcome to episode 4 of Money Matters, where we dive into financial education, empowerment, and freedom. I'm your host and financial empowerment coach, Danae Wolf. In each episode of Money Matters, you're going to learn practical and tactical lessons that will show you exactly how to gain financial clarity and confidence so that you can increase your bank balance and decrease your stress. Now, I'm thrilled to have you join me today because we are diving into a topic that's going to literally revolutionize the way that you manage your money. So, have you ever felt like your finances are all over the place? Maybe you are juggling bills, saving goals, all of those unexpected expenses, and all of it is happening in one cluttered checking account. Well, today we're going to change that. In this episode, we're going to be unveiling the bank account blueprint. This is so that you can learn how to structure your finances for success. We're going to explore how organizing your bank accounts can bring clarity, control, and peace of mind to your financial life. I'm going to introduce you to a powerful system that involves setting up multiple accounts, each one with a specific purpose, from your primary checking account to an emergency fund, a nest egg in case you have an income loss, focus funds for your dreams, and even discretionary spending for guilt-free fun. Now, why is this important? Well, because when every dollar has a designated home, you're not just managing money, you're mastering your money. This system helps prevent overspending, ensures that you are prepared for life surprises, and keeps you steadily marching toward your financial goals. So whether you're just starting out on your financial journey or looking to fine-tune your money management skills, this episode is packed with insights that can make a real difference. So grab a notebook, settle in, and let's get ready to transform your financial future. I'm going to break down 6 accounts you must have and 1 optional account. The very first account that each of you should have is your primary checking account. Now, the main purpose of this account is to serve as your transactional hub. This is that main account where you are going to receive all of your income, such as your paychecks or any freelance payments that you may receive. You're also going to use this account to pay for all of your regular expenses, such as your groceries, your utilities, and any of your daily needs. So this really is that one central checking account where all of the money is coming in and all of the bills are coming out. And what this does is it allows you to centralize your cash flow, which is going to make it much easier for you to track how much you're making and how much you're spending. So this is the account where you're able to see how much money did I make this month by simply looking at your deposits, and then it's going to allow you to see how much money did I spend. So this is a really important account for you to be tracking, because this is how you find out that maybe 20% of your income went to fast food last month, or maybe you have been spending entirely too much money on clothing or any type of activity. Any type of overindulgence is going to jump off the page at you when you look at this account. So that's the very first account that I want you to make sure that you have set up. The second account that you are going to have is your emergency savings account. Now, the purpose of this account is to cover unexpected expenses. These are things like a car repair or some type of a home maintenance. So those are those expenses that really creep up on us. And a lot of times, these unexpected expenses can truly derail our entire financial situation because we were not prepared, right? They're the unexpected expenses. So we did not expect to have them. This account should be used specifically for any of those unexpected expenses because it's going to provide to you for those emergencies that you were not prepared for. You want to aim to keep about 1 month of living expenses in this account. That's really the first goal that you should shoot for. Remember, this account is specifically for unforeseen costs. It is not for regular bills or any type of discretionary spending. This account specifically provides quick access to funds for emergencies without disrupting your regular budget. So if you find yourself in a situation where your car breaks down, I don't want you to have to choose between buying groceries or getting your car fixed. That's why we want to be proactive and make sure that we are setting a bank account aside for any type of unexpected expense. Now, I always suggest just starting with 1 month of your expenses just so that you have a tangible goal. But if you have something that you know is on its way out, so maybe you know you're having problems with your car, maybe you know your cell phone's starting to act a little crazy and you're probably going to have to replace it soon, I want you to think through the lens of those items that you know might start giving you problems and start specifically saving for them. Now, your third account that you're going to want to have is your nest egg account. Now, I want to be very clear that this account is completely different. This account is specifically your financial safety net in case of a job loss or income loss. So our emergency savings is specifically for those unexpected expenses, but the nest egg is to protect you if you lose your job. And what I want you to do in this account is build up 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. Remember, this account is strictly for income replacement purposes, so it's not going to be used for any other expenses. So you want to make sure that you tally up all of your regular household expenses. This is going to be cell phones, cars, mortgage or rent, utilities, all of your bills. You want to take that and do at least 3 to 6 months, because if you come into a situation where you do lose your job, you can at least take a deep breath and remember you have 3 to 6 months of a runway to get you through to your next employment opportunity. Now, once you have your emergency fund funded, you have your savings nest egg funded, you can move on to the fun stuff. And this is what I like to call focus funds. This is the fourth type of bank account that I'd like to see each of you setting up. Focus funds are accounts that we open up for very specific short-term goals. So you're going to create a separate savings account for each one of these goals, such as a vacation you really want to go on, maybe a new car, maybe you want to finish your basement, or any other type of major purpose. These are those things in your life that you are really working hard toward, and putting them each in their own bank account is going to help you see at all times where you stand in your journey toward this goal. It helps you stay organized and motivated by clearly tracking your progress. It prevents mixing these funds with other savings, ensuring that this money is available when you actually need it. And what I have found is what you focus on grows. So if you have a goal that you are trying to set and you open up its own dedicated savings account for it, you are going to be amazed by how it starts to grow because you're being intentional about it and you're focusing on it. Now, the fifth financial account that I want to make sure each and every one of you has is a retirement account. So the purpose of this account is to make sure that you are taken care of when you hit retirement age. So what I want you to do is make sure that either through your job or independently, you are contributing regularly to a retirement account. Now, there are various examples of these, but our most common are going to be our 401k or our IRA. Investing in these accounts over time really has a substantial impact on how your years in retirement play out. And what happens is as you invest this little bit into these retirement accounts when you're young, you're going to start accumulating wealth because your money will actually start working for you inside of these retirement accounts. So I want to make sure each of you has that so that you are properly prepared for the future. Now, the sixth bank account that you should have is your discretionary spending account. So this account is really, really critical because I'm going to tell you right now, as you're on this journey toward increasing your financial IQ and really starting to get your finances in order, you're going to find that your discretionary spending is the part that you can control the most. So first of all, let's define what discretionary spending is. So discretionary spending is any of those non-essential expenses that you spend your money on. So this is not your groceries. This is not your rent payment, right? But this is going out to dinner. This is going to the Eagles game. These are things you choose to spend money on, whereas your bills are things you have to spend money on. So it can be difficult to change, say, your rent expense. You don't really have as much power there, but you have a lot of power when it comes to controlling how much you are spending going out to eat. So what I like to have you do is set up an account. This way, you can be on a budget. So if you allocate a specific amount of money for these discretionary expenses, right, your entertainment, your dining out, your hobbies, any personal indulgences, right, if you do that, you're very easily able to log into that account and say, oh, I'm starting to run out of money. Maybe I won't get my nails done this week. Or my money is starting to get low. Maybe I'm not going to go buy the tickets to that concert. Or on the flip side, you could see, hey, I have a lot of money in this account. Maybe I am going to go try that restaurant that I've really been wanting to indulge in. So this account really helps you control your impulse spending, and it ensures that your fun money fits within your overall financial plan. Because here's the thing, when we are talking about managing your money and taking control over your money and not allowing it to control you, I think a lot of times people think that this budget is constricting. But what I want you guys to know is a budget is simply a plan. Who doesn't feel better about life when they have a plan? Think about it like this. When you drive, if you're going somewhere new, you're using your GPS, right? You're following a plan. You're following a route. So when we create this budget, AKA set up this bank account for our discretionary spending, it allows us to follow our plan. So when you look at your finances and you decide, in order to hit my financial goals, I need to make sure that I keep my discretionary spending at $400 a month, just using an example. Well, when you log into the bank account on the 20th of the month and you see you only have $100 left in there, you're going to think twice about everything that you do in regards to your discretionary spending. So this is a really great way to empower you, allow you to take control over your finances, And you'll see that as you're focusing on it, you're being smarter about what you're spending on, and you'll find that you're gonna eliminate the things in your life that were frivolous, that you didn't love, but you're gonna be able to invest more into the things that genuinely bring you joy. So that's why this is one of my absolute favorite accounts to have. Now, our bonus account, our seventh one, the one that I told you is going to be optional. This is a bills account. Now, the purpose of this account is so that you can separate all of your recurring bills, such as your car payment, your rent, your cell phone bill, any type of insurance. All of those, I want you to add them up, and let's say it's, X amount of dollars per month. You can move those into their own bank account. Now, I suggest this if you are someone who has a really hard time staying organized and disciplined when it comes to money. And you know who you are if that's you. And this might be a good system for you. So you're going to get paid into your main account, the first account we went over, and then you are going to have done the legwork to figure out what are your bills each month, and you're going to immediately move that money into the bills account. This way you never have to worry about getting into a situation where you spend all the money in your bank account and now you don't have enough to cover your rent. And you know who you are. You know if those are your patterns and that's something that you're challenged with. This is a great account for you. If you're someone who doesn't find themselves in a situation where you've spent the money before the bill came out, then this bank account is just an option. It's not anything that you need to do. But your main goal with this would be to do the legwork first to make sure that you know exactly what your bills cost. Because you don't want to be in a situation where you transferred over $400 to cover your bills and really your bills were $600 and now you've overdrawn that account. So just make sure you do the work first to determine how much are the bills that are going to be coming out of that bank account. So let's do a quick recap of these accounts. The first is our main checking account. This is the money where all of your paychecks get deposited and all of your bills come out of, unless of course you opted for that optional account. Now, the second account is your emergency savings account. This is where we start building up some funds for all of those unexpected surprises that we all know happen in life. Because I never want you to be in a situation where your choice is to fix your car or not pay your electric bill. So we want to make sure that we've got an account that we are investing into every chance we get to build up a nest egg for the unexpected. The third account is specifically to protect you in case you lose your job. This is our nest egg. This is our security. This is how you make sure that you have a minimum of 3 months of your bills saved up so that if you lose your job, you're able to focus on finding a new one without having to stress about how you're going to pay your bills in the meantime. The fourth account we talked about are your focus funds. Remember, these are savings accounts that are dedicated to one specific goal. So maybe you're saving for a new home, a vacation, or even a new car. These are specific financial goals that you feel so strongly about that you want to make sure they have their own dedicated bank account. And the next account we talked about is retirement accounts. This is making sure that you are setting up a 401k, an IRA, or some type of plan to make sure that you are able to live comfortably in those golden years. The sixth account was your discretionary spending. This is how we control ourselves. This is how we give ourselves a budget of what we are allowed to indulge in each month. And it's going to be a game changer for you, trust me. And our final one was the optional bills account. So now that we've done our recap, and I know that was a lot of information, I want to give you some additional tips that will help you in this process. The first tip is automate your transfers. So if you are in a situation where you have not set up your savings for your emergencies or your nest egg yet, I want you to make sure that you determine a plan of how much you are going to put into those accounts. So if you have only saved up, let's say 1 month in your nest egg account, you're gonna wanna save maybe $300 a month into that account, just using that as an example. I want you to remove the legwork of you having to go to the computer or your phone and manually make that transfer. That's not necessary. We can actually go right into our bank account and automate that transfer. So if you know that you always get paid on the 15th, maybe on the 16th, you set up the transfers to any of these bank accounts. Remember, you are funneling money into your nest egg for income replacement, into your emergency savings for any of the unexpected, and then any of those focus funds. So when you put together your financial plan of how much you're putting into each account, automate it. It's just going to make your life easier. And I also think it's really important for you guys to just pause on this real quick and realize when we talk about our finances, we are all about progress, not perfection. So if you find yourself in a situation where one of your focus funds is a vacation that you really want to take, and you go through your budget and you realize, I can only put $10 a month into it, do it. Do it, okay? Progress, not perfection. We're trying to create good financial habits. So if you can be disciplined enough, even if it's $10 a month toward your goals, do it. Because I promise you, if you don't put that $10 into that goal, you're going to end up spending it somewhere on something you didn't even want. Now, my next tip is to choose the right accounts, because everything we went over today, it's quite a few accounts. So I want to make sure you're getting into the right ones. So look for accounts with no fees and favorable interest rates, especially for that emergency savings and the nest egg accounts. Now, we're going to discuss this more in another episode, but high level, I want you to make sure that you are paying attention to the fees on all of these accounts and the interest that they are paying you out. Now, the next tip is to stay disciplined, okay? I want to make sure that you guys are able to resist the temptation to dip into these accounts for things they're not designated for. So if you know that your nest egg is specifically in the case of you losing your job and you have not lost your job, you should not be touching those funds, okay? You need to be empowered. And do you know how we're empowered? We're empowered when we trust ourselves. And you know how you're gonna trust yourself? Is if you keep your word to yourself. You created this financial plan. You designated these accounts to have a specific purpose. Stick to that plan. Do not stray. Our next tip is review regularly, okay? You must inspect what you expect. So if you set up a plan that you're going to be putting X amount of dollars into your vacation fund over the next year, check in on it. Look at it every month. Did you do it? Did you not do it? If you sit down and actually look at your budget and financial plan every single month, I promise you it will change your life. Knowledge is power. You need to be paying attention to whether or not you are following this plan. This is not a set it and forget it, okay? This is an ongoing journey of getting yourself to the next level in your finances. So I want to make sure that you are setting time aside either each week or each month to review all of these accounts. So now let's talk about some of the questions you guys have submitted to us on social media. So the first is, isn't managing multiple bank accounts complicated? How can I keep track of all of them without getting overwhelmed? Okay, so this is a good one. This is a good one. And here's the first thing I want to point out. If you create a plan that feels overwhelming, no matter what you do, it's going to be overwhelming. So the first step is making sure that your plan feels in alignment with you. If you are trying to force something, it's never going to work. You're not going to be consistent, and you're always going to feel overwhelmed. So while this is the plan that I believe in and that works for me, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. And what I know to be true about human nature is you cannot force something on you if it doesn't feel in alignment with you. So I want you to make sure that the methodology that you lay out for your bank accounts, the way that you structure them, feels good to you. You should sit down to do this and feel excited. If that's where you get yourself, then this will not feel overwhelming. So that's the first answer to your question. But talking more logistically what this should look like, I would really make sure that you're able to log into one place and see each of these accounts. I would also make sure that you have some type of a spreadsheet or Google Doc where you're keeping everything outlined. But you're gonna have to put pen to paper or digital paper to make sure that you have it all listed somewhere the same way that you would track anything else. Next question. Are there additional fees associated with having multiple bank accounts? How can I set up this system without incurring extra costs? Okay, so this is a great question. And you're going to have to do your research, okay? But there are plenty of banks that are going to have no fee checking accounts, all right? And you're gonna wanna make sure that you get yourself into one of those. Because if you're in a place where you are paying to have all of these bank accounts and it's becoming expensive, you're kind of defeating the purpose here. So just make sure, call around and find a bank. There's a lot of them. I don't wanna plug anything specifically right now, but I want you to make sure that you do the work. Pick up the phone, look on the website, but you're gonna look for a no fees checking account. Now, our final question is, how much should I keep in my emergency savings account versus my nest egg? And what is the difference between the two and why do I need both? Okay, so again, our emergency savings is very specifically for those unexpected expenses. This is your water heater broke. This is your car broke down. Your nest egg is for a very specific type of emergency, and that is losing your job. So two very different accounts. One is an unexpected expense. One is an unexpected loss of income. Now, in our loss of income account, we want to have 3 to 6 months of our bills saved up. This way, we have a 3 to 6 month runway to get another job. And then when it comes to your emergency account, I always suggest just starting to give you a goal, 1 month of bills. Work toward that unless you have a very specific hit list in your life of things you know are about to break. If you know you're having problems with your phone, if you know you're having problems with your car, use those as guides of what to set your goal at. Now that wraps up today's episode of Money Matters. I hope you're feeling inspired and ready to take control of your finances with this bank account blueprint. Remember, organizing your money isn't just about splitting it into different bank accounts. It's about giving each dollar a purpose and creating a roadmap to your financial success. By setting up your primary checking account, establishing an emergency fund, building your nest egg, creating focus funds for your dreams, and managing your discretionary spending, you're setting yourself up for a more secure and fulfilling financial future. This is all about making your money work for you, not the other way around. Don't forget to review the steps we covered and consider how you can implement this system in your life in a way that makes sense to you. We want it to feel good to you. And if you have any questions regarding this episode, feel free to reach out to us right here on social media. I'm here to help you every step of the way. Thanks so much for joining me today. And if you found this episode helpful, please share it with friends or family members who could use a financial boost. Together, we can empower more people to take charge of their finances and achieve their goals together. Until next time, keep planning, keep striving, and remember, when you organize your money, you organize your life. I'm Danae Wolf, your financial empowerment coach, and this is Money Matters. I'll see you on the next episode.